Hi guys, welcome to my Bajerski YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about a lovely crystal. Some people don't like this crystal. I don't know why. I think it's really weird. It's a beautiful crystal. And yeah, I talked to a couple of dealers and they really don't like them, and I don't understand why, because they're so beautiful, they're so refreshing. And come a little bit closer. I've been working with this crystal for a long time. In fact, when I first started, it was one of the crystals that I really loved to work with, especially with children as well. But I'm going to introduce you to it now. It's called Druzy. Okay, so just have a look. There's one. And I took two from my website just to show you. And here's another one. This one is a Druzy with, let's have a look. It looks like opal and a little, I'm not so sure what that is, but that's a pearl. But it says a nice mixture there, but that's a beautiful one. The Druzy is this here. So basically what it is, if you look at the back, there's the mother stone, the crystal. It could be calcite, it could, well, they grow from any stone, but then this is a little crystallized, it's like crystallized, like little tiny crystals on the surface, which is really beautiful. And yeah, a lot of people who don't really know much about them, they say they're fake, but they're not. And yes, there are many people who fake them. That's true. That's true. They're faked a lot in India, by the way. So you've got to be careful. But it is a beautiful crystal. So I think what I noticed about Druzy for me was, the first thing is that it's more of a young crystal. It's not a big old crystal. It's like very young. So it has the same energy as young energy, inspiring. It makes me feel inspired. It makes me feel young. It makes me feel joyful, giddy, happy. And it is a really uplifting crystal. There's no doubt about it. Some of the things, I mean, you can get Druzy different colours, and depending on, you know, what stone it's, what crystal it's growing from, you know. So there's so many. But anyway, what did I like most about this? I'm just trying to think of a story that when I first started working, I think there was a girl who came to me and she had an issue with a boyfriend. It was a really kind of funny story, and I don't really tell this story too much, but this is more about, I guess you're going to like this story, but it's important for me because it works hand in hand with the stone and what I'm about to say. Okay, so my last client walked out of the door and I thought, oh, my next client should be here now. So I stepped out of the door and looked down, and I saw this boy and this girl. They were only 18, 19, something like that. And they were holding each other and kissing each other. And I went, oh, and I thought, I wonder if that girl's my next client. And then all of a sudden, the girl finished kissing him, let go of him, turned and looked up, and I smiled, and she went, oh, I'm your next client. I says, oh, come up. So she came upstairs and she sat down. So I dealt my cards, as I do, in a specific way, and she sat there, never said a word. And I put my hands over her hands and felt her energy, and then I began the reading. As I was doing the reading, this is where I share with a lot of people who come to the tarot course or learn online about you should never ever cold read or think and use your mind, because you cut the connection off instantly. So I'm turning a few cards over and I'm looking at this and thinking, what I've just seen downstairs, this is the mind. This doesn't make any sense, because my cards were actually saying that these two were breaking up and they weren't going to be together. And it felt really quick. It was like, this is going to happen very quick. So my mind's fighting with my heart, and all of a sudden I stopped because I was about to talk where I saw this story of them parting and going separate parts of the world, just disappearing from one another miles away. I stopped, and I remember I just closed my eyes and I said to my mind, just shut up and stop. And at that moment, I felt my heart saying, trust. So I began to read, and I said, you're a beautiful soul, and I can feel your partner is a beautiful soul, and I can see that you've encouraged each other and loved each other and taken care of each other over these few years. But I can see now that I can see a path where you are both becoming your own strength, your own power, your own uniqueness, rather than being together. You need to find your who you are and what you're doing. You need to be who you were born to be. And it looks like you're both flying and you're so happy. And it looks like you're moving to different parts of the world. And I was saying all of these things. And my mind would have said, oh my God, this, my God, what if you're wrong? What if it's, they were just kissing, they're loving each other. How dare you say things like that? You could cause this breakup. But that didn't happen. I was trusting in my cards, and I was saying it in a beautiful way, and then explaining how they were going to create their life and what they were going to do in their life and what I saw in both their life. And it lasted 1 hour, and when I'd finished, I opened my eyes and she smiled and I smiled back, and my head was in a little bit of panic now. And she said, is it okay if I speak? And I said, absolutely. After I give the reading, you can ask any questions you want. I can't promise that I can see anything, but I promise to do my best. And she says, well, I just want you to know how thankful I am of this reading. She said, this is the most beautiful confirmation that I've ever felt in my life. Because when I was sat on the stairs only an hour ago, I was holding my boyfriend's hand, we've been boyfriend and girlfriend, childhood sweethearts. We grew up together, and at that very moment, we looked at each other, and just so you know, we are both going to university, but it's in different parts of the world. And we realised that we had to fulfill our dreams, which she wanted to be, I think, I don't know whether it was a medical doctor or something like that, and he wanted to be a lawyer, and they were both going in different directions. And she said, and at that moment, we kissed each other and we said, we will always love each other, but we need to find our path and we need to do this on our own. And of course, I broke down in tears because part of me was so worried that I said something wrong. But actually, I was so relieved and happy that it all made sense. And now she said, I can get up. And I feel so confident that we are doing the right thing, because of course we were fearing that we'll never see each other again and we'll never love each other again. But you've made me understand that we need to do this. And she laid down then for a healing session, and I remember turning and heading to my tree. I've got like a little tree where I hang all my crystals on at that time when I was doing healings and readings, and I picked the Druzy. And the Druzy was very similar to this Druzy, but it was just the Druzy without anything else on it. But like this, it was very much like this. And I did the healing session, and she was filled with joy, laughter, happiness when I'd finished. And I could feel that the energy that was being given to her was now entering in the Druzy, which the Druzy was a perfect combination to keep her light, happy, joyful, not to worry, not to fear the breakup of what anybody else would fear, the relationship, and I'm going to lose my partner, but to have the strength and the confidence to move forward in their life and know that they'll always love each other. And this isn't about a breakup. This is about trusting each other, loving each other, and supporting each other. And when she left and I gave her that crystal as a gift, now I know this lady, and she is now amazing. This is like, I think, at least 9 years ago. And they came back together, and I think they're like planning on getting married, but I haven't spoken to her for at least a year. But I know they've achieved what they needed to do. So it's a great story, but I think the moral of the story is that, you know, a certain crystal can help you become stronger than your fears. I think a certain crystal can keep the energy of happiness away from the energy of fear and worry of what ifs and why and did I do the right thing. A crystal can sometimes give you confidence. It can help you stay focused and know that the worry and the fears that the mind so often feeds us, is a crystal can clear that away. So I believe that Druzy is that crystal. I believe it brings not only the joy and the lightness, because you might misinterpret what I'm saying here. When I say a crystal brings that child, it's great for children and makes them feel good. You tell me how many children feel bad, how many children worry about the future. They don't, because it's only you and I who grow up in a system that gives us the fear of all of those things to help us, to make us feel fear, trap us, make us feel that everything's going to go wrong. And you know what I mean. So the Druzy takes that away. The Druzy helps confidence, helps you trust, helps you believe, helps you know that the future's okay and you're going to be fine. And if you are in a position where maybe, just maybe, you're worried about losing something, whether that's a home, whether that's a partner, whether that's something that you love so much and you're frightened of losing it, this is the perfect crystal to bring the balance of trust. Bring in a new and powerful energy of knowing that I know everything's going to be okay. And I think this crystal does it. It's hard to put into words, but like the girl did, she knew everything was going to be fine. In the mist, or in the midst of darkness, she was the light. She was strong. She knew everything was fine. And I believe that this crystal brings that in. And the healing session certainly brought the confirmation. So I think if you were to say, what does Druzy do? I believe Druzy will help your heart listen more than your mind. It will help amplify the truth from the heart, that is the wisdom, that is the seer, that is the higher self, that knows the truth, that in the end everything's fine. And it does not feed the mind. It suppresses the mind's negativity. So it amplifies the truth, so you feel stronger, happier, more confident. On a physical level, I believe this is great for depression. I believe it's great for any kind of negative thoughts that we often have. Clearing worry, clearing fear, making you feel more focused. And I also believe it's good for helping you fly free. Fly free meaning spread your wings and fly, trusting in your path, trusting in your future, trusting in every leap of faith that you take. So on a physical level, I think it's great for anxiety. I think it's great for anything to do with fear-based worry, any kind of panic attacks. I guess it's great for headaches as well. It's because it brings in calmness. So if you suffer from migraine, worries, fears, bad eyes, anything to do with the head, and maybe a little bit down here where it makes it stronger. So I think the effect of the heart being stronger clears away the fear, that clears away all the nonsense that we carry and create, because we create it. So if we're strengthening the heart, we're strengthening the rest of our life force, and that then clears away everything else. What else do I know about Druzy and what I've worked with clients? I'm just trying to think. Barbara used to have Druzy on her leg, which healed it and helped her leg become stronger. But I used to kind of just gently massage it onto the foot. So I'm not saying it's going to be that for you. So I'm not 100% sure, but I remember using it on Barbara. I've got so many thoughts of Druzy. Great for little children who suffer with any kind of issues, problems. I hate using all of this OCD and all that, but it's great to calm children down who are very active, who are, always, and like I said to you, it's a real crystal of dual energy, because you said it lifts people up, it makes them feel stronger, happier. Whoa, is this going to be too much? No, it actually brings balance to people who are low, and anybody who's too high brings balance that way. So I'm sorry, I'm not really explaining myself too good, but I know what I see and what I've seen with my clients. And I think that's it really, guys. If you love somebody very much, like a child, and you miss your child, these are really wonderful crystals to send to them. I know a lot of my clients who fell out with their children, who sent a Druzy, and it changed their connection between each other and brought them closer together. If a child is going off to university, if somebody's going on holiday, a great crystal to give them and to let them wear as a protection, which it is. Druzy is a brilliant protection. It's fabulous. And believe it or not, all of these little tiny bits here, they're all like little sparks of light. They fly out and they do protect. They really do. They amplify your higher self, because it's making you feel stronger and happier. It's amplifying your heart, which means then it channels that energy out, blasts, and a lot of magic has happened with Druzy that I know through my clients and myself. So I used to wear one of these, and it was a very, very white Druzy, and it was filled with lots of rainbow colours, and I wore that for maybe 3 or 4 months, and a lot of magic happened then. So I don't want to say too much, but I think it is a very magical crystal. So enjoy Druzy, work with it. It's brilliant for healers to work with, because it's very uplifting and keeps your vibration very high as well, guys. So they're a great combination with Moldavite too. Really nice. That's it really, guys. I could talk all day about crystals. I could continue talking about Druzy all day, but we'll keep it as 15 minutes. Have a beautiful day, guys, from my heart to yours. Enjoy your Druzy, and thank you for buying your genuine Druzys from Bajerski.com. I still have maybe 20, I think, on there. I'm not so sure, maybe less, but there are still a few there like this one. Okay, take care, guys. I've got to go. Have a great day. Bye.